Okay, I'm doing a video just because pictures don't show, but this whole 8-inch net is full of axolotl eggs. And they were a surprise and unplanned, but I wanted to show you. So axie eggs are very interesting. So that right there is the baby, and around it is like this gelatinous material. If you've ever had a boba, it's like a boba. So as you can see, like, see if I can get a better shot here. If I squeeze it, it just kind of slips out and bounces. It just kind of moves under my fingers and they don't pop. And then there's this super stringy gelatinous goo. So you can see the little egg balls. Each egg is in its own like little ball. See that? And then this gelatinous, oh, see you can see really good. Oh yeah. It's so sticky. See how each ball is attached to the egg, or the gelatinous material. It's basically like egg white and snot had a baby. And so it's so gross. And it was really, you can't, trying to get it off of leaves was so hard. Oh, okay, this is cool too. So see this little gelatinous piece here? Ah! It is so slimy and so, let's see if I can get some. So I wanted to show, see if I can get it to focus. Sorry about that. We've got development going on. And there's these little pieces, they kind of, sorry, they laid all over the moss, and so the Marimo balls are just covered. But if you notice, like if I, oh, okay, let me see if I can drop just one. They like sink, they're actually quite heavy. So we'll drop just this one egg. And they sink to the bottom, which is why there's so much substrate in here, because they're almost impossible to get off the moss balls. I mean, getting them off the plants. So if you look here, here's a plant, right? And I will try to slide these off the leaf, and I'm applying a firm amount of pressure, and they're just not coming off, and my fingers just like skirting over them. See that? So on the leaves, I basically just took the leaf off. And these things are pretty sturdy, like, oh, see, okay, maybe I got the gel off. Can I? Okay, so after so I got one egg off. That one egg that was on the leaf I got off. And it's still in its little boba ball here. It's like really cool. Texturally, it's not so awesome. It's a little gross if you're squeamish with mucus. But getting them off the plants was hard. When it came to the wood, I could work each egg, but I probably have about 400 to 500 eggs in this net. And so I used a razor blade to just gently separate the gelatinous glue, if you will, from the wood, and it didn't damage the eggs or harm the eggs in any way. But you can see here, like, they just kind of separate into their own little pods, and then they connect through this gel and they stick, and they are remarkably sticky. So it's a really cool aspect. I knew nothing about this and I was not prepared for it, but here we are. I have homes for a lot of the eggs. I'm just giving them away because I'm thankful that, you know, they'll have a place to grow up and whatnot. So inside my tank, and the water's a little yellow right now because of tannins and whatnot. So there are a couple egg bobas, if you will, again, sort of around the tank, and I have to remove those. Those ones I'll be keeping and raising myself. I have a plan for that. And this is the whole tank. It's kind of a mess. Excuse the reflection of my laundry in the background. But I will be putting a sponge divider like right here in the middle and separating the males from females so we don't have this situation again. And some people have asked to see the parents, so that right there is my sexually mature male. That is Stoic. He's a wild GFP. And then there's one of the mamas. That's my leucistic Axie, and she is beautiful. That's Hiccup. And then over here we have my, oh no, okay. So the Axie we saw over by Hiccup, the pink one, was actually Valka. My sexually immature male. He's getting close, but he's not quite there. This right here, this is actually Stoic. He is a wild GFP. Oh, sorry. And what that means is that he's a wild type and he has the ability to glow in the dark. However, it is not good for them to be under blue light and glow. He also has ridiculously long gills and he is super cute. And if you look closely, he hates being videoed because a red light comes on. His eyes are green. So he's really beautiful. And if you look at his, he has some flecks in there that are kind of iridescent in a few spots. But he's quite beautiful. And then this is Toothless, the other female. And she is super cute and sweet and begging for food. Aren't you, Toothless? Yeah. Hi. She is super responsive and interactive, and when I talk to her, she engages me. And how you can, hi, I see you. Yeah, hi. You can tell the difference between the males and females. So if you look at the back of Stoic, let's see if I can get a different angle. Sorry, I'm really not good at this whole video thing. You can see his boy parts are rather noticeable under his tail, between his leg and his tail. There's that little bulge. That's his boy parts. You can see it from this side too. And then on Toothless, you can see that she doesn't really have a bulge. Sorry, trying to move. There's a little bit of like a bump, but it's pretty smooth. If you have to say, oh, I don't know if that's a boy or not, and your axolotl's over 6 months old, it's a girl. And so there's Stoic again. That's the daddy. See his big boy part? And then we'll go back. There's Hiccup, the other mama. And then here's Valka. Valka's actually a male. I'll show you. But we haven't totally reached sexual maturity. We're almost there. The colors of our toes have changed. And so we're getting there, but he's not quite there, which is good that I'm separating them now. But you can see he has a big bulge, and that's his boy part. And then the cool thing about Valka is he has a little white circle on him that's unique to him. He's had that since I received him as a baby. I do keep ghost shrimp in this tank, and the Axies don't eat them, so they're good little cleaners. And then as you can see, I have some egg bobas. some little egg sacs. There's 2 here and 1 there. And again, those will be the ones that I'm keeping, and I will pull those out and get those in their own container this evening. But for now, they can just sit there. The Axies, they're so hard to get off of stuff that there's no way the Axies are gonna try to eat those things. It's really tedious. And then Valka's heading over to the food dish because he wants to eat and it's not dinner time. And then there's some more, this is some more egg sacs mixed in with their pellets from this morning, or excuse me, from last night. And so I will go in and pick all that out and clean it up. I do that usually the evening I feed, but it was late last night from gathering all their eggs and I was just exhausted. So, and then I keep their tank. This is my chiller. I have my canister hooked up to my chiller. There we go. And then my chiller, the output, comes up into a hang-on back, and then it filters through polyfloss, and the flow is dampened by sponges and tubing to slow it down. I've been keeping the Axie eggs inside this part of the hang-on back so that they have really sufficient water flow, that they stay the right temperature, and so they aren't potentially in the tank and falling. But this is where they are. And then the reason I have it going into a large hang-on back instead of a spray bar like I used to is because the flow is more gentle than the spray bar. And I don't have to use a whole separate canister. I can just filter the water in, and this is a nice gentle flow. I like the sound of it, and it's just a really handy setup for me. And I can grow plants in there if I want to, which I don't, but I could. So yeah, that's my setup. It's kind of a hot mess at the moment just from having to like clean and get things, and I have tannins in the water and whatnot, but that is that's my Axie situation. So for those of you who wanted to know, there you go.